Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we stop blaming ourselves for systemic traps and start calling them what they are. If you've ever lain awake at night staring at your student loan balance, that six-figure number that feels heavier than your actual degree, and thought, how did I let this happen? Or I must be terrible with money, then take a deep breath and stay right here. That knot in your stomach when the payment auto-drafts and your checking account drops another $400, $600. Knowing it barely touches principal, while interest keeps growing, is not proof you're irresponsible. It's proof you were sold a promise that turned into a lifelong anchor. You were told college was the only path to a good life, that borrowing was investing in yourself, that everyone does it, so it must be fine. You signed the papers at 18 or 19, excited about the future, trusting the system that told you this debt was normal, even smart. Now you're 30-something, still paying, watching peers without debt buy houses, start families, travel, while you're grinding just to keep the lights on. The shame is crushing. If I were smarter, I'd have figured out a way around it. No, stop, you're not stupid. You're not lazy. You're the target of one of the largest, most profitable wealth transfer mechanisms in modern history. Today we're whiteboarding why college debt isn't personal failure. It's a deliberate scam that moves money upward from young borrowers to banks, universities, and the already wealthy. We'll validate that exhaustion, that quiet rage, first, because you can't escape a trap until you stop believing it's your fault for stepping in it. Stick with me for 20 minutes. By the end, you'll see the machinery clearly and have real moves to protect yourself and maybe even fight back. Let me sit with you in that feeling. You open the loan portal, see the balance barely budged after years of payments, and the interest accrued this month alone is more than some people's rent. You think about the job you took just to pay the loans, the side hustles that eat your weekends, the vacations you skip, the kids you're delaying because we can't afford it yet. Meanwhile, the university built new buildings, the bank executives got bonuses, private equity firms bought up loan portfolios and squeezed every cent. You feel trapped in a story that was written before you were old, enough to understand compound interest or lobbying power. The guilt is relentless. Society says, you chose to go to college. You signed the papers, as if an 18-year-old could negotiate terms with Sally Mae or foresee 40 years of wage stagnation. That isolation is real. I get messages every week. I make decent money, but the loans eat everything. I regret the degree, but can't afford to go back and change it. My parents said it was the only way. You're not alone in that loop. We're about to draw the scam so clearly that the next payment notification feels less like personal defeat and more like evidence of a rigged game. You deserve relief from the blame. Let's name the mechanism. Think about how normalized this is. Everyone has student debt stories, the friend who lucked out with scholarships, the relative who paid cash, the influencer preaching, grind harder, but the majority are in the same boat. Payments that never seem to end, balances that creep down slower than inflation rises, life milestones delayed. The pain isn't abstract, it's missed home ownership, postponed family, chronic stress affecting health. Today we whiteboard college debt as a wealth transfer scam, not a personal mistake. You're not defective for believing the promise. You're human in a system that profits from that belief. Whiteboard time, let's get mercilessly clear. Draw a simple loan amortization at the top. Typical scenario: $50,000 borrowed at 6.8% average federal undergrad rate over 10 years. Monthly payment approximately equals $580. Total paid over 10 years approximately equals $69,600. Interest alone approximately equals $19,600. Principal paid $50,000. Now extend to reality. Many take 20 to 25 years. At 20 years, total paid approximately equals $99,000. Interest approximately equals $49,000. At 25 years, common with forbearance, income-driven plans. Total paid approximately equals $120,000 plus. Interest approximately equals $70,000 plus. The longer the term, the more interest compounds upward to lenders. At opportunity cost. That $580 a month invested at 8% for 20 years grows to approximately equals $330,000. Over 25 years, approximately equals $500,000 plus. Draw the fork. Debt path money flows to banks, net worth flat or negative. Invest path exponential wealth curve. Gap, hundreds of thousands to millions in missed compounding for the average borrower. Scale it nationally. Total U.S. student debt, $1.7 trillion plus. Average borrower owes $38,000, but many carry $100,000 plus. Interest revenue to lenders, tens of billions annually. Wealth transfer direction, upward. Borrowers, mostly young, middle, lower class, pay interest to banks, investors, private equity. Universities raise tuition because easy loans are available. Gives colleges capture more federal aid. Gives administrative bloat. Fancy facilities gives more debt needed. Gives cycle repeats. Private loans worse. 8 to 15% rates. Fewer protections. Income-driven repayment plans sound helpful, but extend terms to 20 to 25 years. Forgive remainder, taxable in many cases, and keep borrowers paying interest forever. Math shows forgiveness rare, most still pay full principal plus interest. Equation sketch. Lifetime cost equals principal plus interest plus fees plus opportunity cost of monthly payments. For median borrower, $100,000, $200,000 plus total drain over lifetime. That money doesn't build homes, businesses, retirement. It funds executive bonuses, shareholder returns, university endowments. The scam isn't borrowing, it's the asymmetry. Borrowers bear risk and cost. Lenders and institutions capture upside with minimal risk. Now zoom out. Whiteboard, the student debt extraction engine. Gears. Federal policy gives universities, gives lenders, gives credit economy, gives cultural narrative. Federal policy. 2005 bankruptcy law made student loans almost impossible to discharge, gives lenders face zero risk. Unlimited plus loans, no underwriting, gives tuition inflation. Bennett hypothesis. Government guarantees loans, gives banks lend freely. Collect interest and fees. Universities. Easy money gives administrative arms race, luxury dorms, sports facilities, high executive salaries. Tuition up 180% since 1980, inflation adjusted, wages flat. Colleges capture federal aid directly. Lenders and servicers. Servicers profit from defaults, collection fees, forbearance, extended interest, income-driven plans, longer terms. Private equity buys portfolios, squeezes borrowers. Credit economy. High debt gives lower credit scores, gives worse terms on mortgage, cars, insurance, gives lifelong penalty. Wage garnishment legal gives perpetual extraction. Cultural narrative. College is mandatory for success. Debt is investment. Everyone does it. No mainstream discussion of alternatives, trade schools, apprenticeships, self-education, or systemic reform. Empathy check. You didn't design a system where an 18-year-old signs a contract with lifetime consequences. You were told it was the only path. The papers were presented as routine, and the long-term math was never explained. The scam works because it's normalized and mandatory for most paths to middle-class stability. Blaming borrowers ignores that the game was rigged before you sat down to sign. Seeing the engine move shame to clarity, you're not the problem. The design is. Final whiteboard realistic moves inside the trap. 1. Aggressive payoff. Avalanche method, highest interest first. Extra payments to principal. Refinance private loans, if credit allows. Federal usually not worth it due to benefits loss. 2. Income-driven plans strategically. PAYE repay save cap payments at 10% discretionary income. Forgiveness after 20 to 25 years. Track qualifying payments carefully. 3. Public service loan forgiveness. 10 years qualifying payments in nonprofit government. Gives full forgiveness tax-free. Many overlook eligibility. 4. Side income velocity. Extra $500 $1,000 month to loans changes trajectory. Hustles, raises, job hops. 5. Lifestyle lockdown. Live like you're still in school until loans gone. Roommates, cheap food, no new debt. 6. Asset protection. Build emergency fund first, then attack debt. Avoid new loans. 7. Systemic push. Vote for discharge reform, tuition-free public college, apprenticeship expansion. Join borrower unions. Realistic rap. Most won't escape overnight. Progress is slow, uneven. Celebrate every principal reduction, every avoided upgrade. The debt isn't your stupidity. It's a transfer you can slow or stop. Closing. College debt isn't stupidity. It's a wealth transfer scam moving trillions upward, while borrowers pay the price. You're not defective for being in it. You're evidence the promise was a lie. But you're also proof people can fight back with awareness and strategy. If this validated something for you, like, subscribe, share with someone drowning in loans. Comment. What's your loan balance story or one step you're taking this month? Let's support each other out of the trap. You're stronger than the debt wants you to believe. See you next. Lighter burdens, clearer path.